Do you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3, serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1957. You can now listen to all your WBCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM, a new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3. You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Yardley, Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Wide Open Wednesday here on WBCB, my favorite racing show. Here is your host, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher. Sorry, guys, I've been talking all day.
Easy for you to say.
I needed a break.
I don't want to hear about the talking. He's still Fletcher because that young girl was in here singing. I got her autograph. So thank you for the autograph. I really appreciate it. My boy Steve came through for me. But yeah, he had. It was the first time you had a singer in here, right, Steve?
Yes, first live musical performance.
That's
correct.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Do it once in a while back then.
It was such a great time.
Yeah.
I heard Fred had Wailing Jennings in here with Foxwell. But
that was a long time ago.
Many moons ago. Many moons ago. But tonight on Wide Open Wednesday, we got an exciting round of people coming on. And of course,
another nice big announcement about videos coming up.
The video dropped from Saturday from Five Peaks Media and our boy Greg, better known as Magic. And what a video! Mark April was with us, and a fantastic video that we put out. It's all over our outlets right now. You need to check it out. And that is the model for things to come for Wide Open Wednesday. So be prepared, people. Mm-hmm. But that being said, if you were on the fence about sponsoring our show here at WBCB, if you were on the fence, you were thinking about it, you need not think about it no more. If you really want to be involved with Wide Open Wednesday, you need to get a hold of me and Fred. Mm-hmm. We want you to be a part of it. Sherry Drayton and Bobby Drayton has stepped up to the plate again. All we had to do was, mention that to them.
Sage
Chiropractic stepped up again. So we have Bob's Portable Toilet, Mr. Bob's, and we have Sage Chiropractic. But we need a few more, gang. If you want this radio show to stay on WBCB and on the airwaves on the radio, you need to help us out a little bit. Fred has helped us out enough, and I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done, and I can't thank our sponsors enough. But this doesn't happen for free, and we need some sponsors. So if you were on the fence and you were thinking about sponsoring us, feel free to get a hold of me.
It's not just it's not an expense. It's a return on investment.
Exactly.
So, but my investment was more than my return. But it's for everybody to catch on and would take your business with us because it's really, really good. So let's go on. Let's get going because we got our star
on the line.
We got a star of our Saturday video coming up here, Earl Krause. Hi, Earl.
Hey, good evening, Fred. Good evening, Nick.
Hello, Earl.
Yeah, looking forward to our Saturday time on the video board.
Yeah, the time capsule.
Yeah, the time capsule starts on Saturday. We had a little preview with Mark. Mark done an excellent job. And I told him, I said, well, when Earl gets here and you and him are together, me and Fred are just going to sit there and gloat. So,
yes, Mark April and I are going to share some very special racing memories, going back to when we first got involved in the sport many years ago. And, Mark and I, as far as our racing backgrounds, we sat in the grandstands when we were kids in the 1960s, we didn't know each other then, but, we talk about it that we were at a lot of the same races. And, like so many of us, that's how we got our start, going to the races with our dads and family members. So, we're looking forward to sharing it on Earl's Time Capsule. And I saw part of Mark's show, Mark's Memories, from this past weekend. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some you guys to cough up some pictures so we can put them on the video with us.
That'd be good.
Yeah, okay. So if you can email me some of your favorite pictures, I'll get Mark to do the same. I have a couple. I'm sure Nick has a couple. We can always intersperse them in between what we're talking about and whoever we bring up, and that'll add some context to it. And I really think it's going to be an awesome setup.
It's pretty funny with me doing. I don't know how I got involved in all this, but I got to thank Vince for showing me how to do these action figures. Now that I've been doing these action figures, I've been looking for pictures of old-time race cars and old-time drivers and stuff, and the people are like, my phone's been ringing off the hook. Can you make one of this guy? Can you make one of that guy? And it's a computer-generated thing, and you can make an action figure of your heroes or your favorite race car drivers. So I've been doing them for different people, and I did one for Miss Motorsports this morning. So it's a pretty cool thing. It's all computer generated. I wish there was a way, and there probably is a way, you can make the action figure a reality, but it probably costs a ton of money to get the rights and all the other stuff. But for right now, it's pretty fun, and people are enjoying it, so I'm having a good time with it. But I can't wait till Saturday. Now, we ain't racing Saturdays. New Egypt's having a practice tomorrow, an open practice, so guys can go there and test some stuff and get rid of their cabin fever. Of course, Bridgeport's running this weekend. Of course, Easter, Good Friday, and then we have Easter. So what are you doing for Easter, Earl, besides hanging out with us on Saturday?
Well, on Easter, I'll have a nice Easter morning with the family, and then in the afternoon, as usual, even though it's Easter on a Sunday, I'll most likely be down at the area auto racing news office, working on a column for next week's paper. So I enjoy doing that, and again, kind of the best of both for Easter Sunday. Cool.
Well, like we said, if you have some pictures, send us some pictures. Make sure you get yourself well rehearsed on. You don't have to rehearse, Earl.
No, not Earl. Earl's
not you. just bring some cool stories. Because Mark told me a story Saturday about Ed Connors and my brother John, that Ed used to wear a yellow shirt at Windsor, and that was John's mark to get out of the throttle. And I never heard that story before until Saturday. I can't wait to see my brother John and run that by him so he could tell me that story. But yeah, Mark had a couple really good stories, and I can't wait to see the kind of stories that you have when we get this thing underway on Saturday.
Very good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'd like to mention, I know you got a big show tonight, a lot of special guests. 2 weeks from now, on Sunday, May the 4th, a very special event. It's ongoing each year at Patterson Greenhouses. It's a big farm facility in Freehold, New Jersey, on Adelphia Road, and they'll be having their annual Family Fun Day. It's a huge car show, race cars, custom cars, muscle cars, vintage, you name it, and they have a lot of acreage on their farm and greenhouses, and they have cars all over, and it's free admission, but the key to the event is it's a fundraiser for the battle against cancer.
Oh, cool.
And it's actually has kind of a neat name. It's called Live Like a Unicorn. And Liv, L-I-V, it's named after a young girl named Olivia from a local family in Freehold. She passed away after a very gallant fight against cancer. And her family developed the Live Like a Unicorn Foundation. Oh. And the money they raise goes for various fights against cancer, various organizations that battle cancer, or money goes to families that are dealing with the illness, and they work very hard at it. And so every year at the car show in the spring, they have the Live Like a Unicorn group will be there, and any money that's donated to them, it goes 100% to that organization. So it's a wonderful day for a wonderful cause. And again, the Patterson Racing family, it's that's the name of the business, Patterson Greenhouses. But the family raced at Wall Stadium for many years. Pat Patterson and his son Larry Patterson both competed there. And their late uncle, Don Patterson, he was involved in racing going way, way back to the 1950s and 60s as a crew member for Sam Trailer, who had sprint cars and midgets that raced around the country. So they're a big part of racing, and again, they do this every year in the spring, and this year it's on May 4th in the battle against cancer. And then further along, I'm not sure the exact date yet, but in early October, they have a identical event at their greenhouses, and this is to benefit local military veterans. All the money raised that day goes to military veteran groups, especially against veteran suicides, things of that nature. So it's a great family. They do great work, and we want to give them a shout-out for May 4th on that Sunday afternoon. Free admission. It starts at 10 in the morning, goes till about 3 in the afternoon, and it's a great one for the entire family.
All right,
Awesome.
Earl.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
I'm always up for that kind of stuff. Are you going to be there?
Yes, I will.
All right.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Maybe
Earl
I
can buy us
scooch on
lunch.
over. Yeah. All right, well, we'll keep in touch on that, and give me a call tomorrow, and we'll talk about it on Need for Speed tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and then we'll
Look forward
get
to it
together
tomorrow
Saturday.
morning.
We'll have some fun Saturday. Earl, I'm looking forward to seeing you Saturday.
Sounds good.
All
Okay,
right.
well, look forward to a great show tonight, guys. Take
Thanks,
care.
Earl.
Thanks, Earl.
Appreciate it. Next, Stephen. Billy Kleinspin, who is now an action figure. How did that happen, Bill?
I have no idea, but I must say it was great to wake up to that. With all the storms that we got in our area last night, yours truly tried out for the local weather report. And I must say, I'll probably be the next YouTube star with my weather forecast from yesterday. I had all sorts of things blowing in the background. Good thing no streakers made an appearance, but hopefully I'll be the next YouTube star this year.
Well, there you go. See, that fitted you perfect when we made the action figure and sent it over there. I put it on the Then and Now site and all that good stuff, so that ought to be
You
fun.
should have put an umbrella with that, too.
Yeah, we should have put
Give
an
it a little bit
umbrella
more
with
of a
that, though. I
tan.
have to redo that and
Give
put an
some tan.
umbrella on there.
Yeah. I must say you did a very good job on that, Nick. So thank you very much for that.
No problem, Bill. I always take care of the people that I love. You know that. What happened at Maple Grove this weekend, brother?
Well, this past weekend, we had another great test in tune. This year we always, at this time of year, regardless of what time of year it is, we usually have a test in tune so people can come and get some practice runs in before the season begins. We had another great gamblers race with Antron Jett picking the win over Tom Hussein. He's a very good, great record racers at Maple Grove. Antron's a very good big money racer and a promoter, just like our boss Shane. This weekend we got another test in tune that will be taking place on Saturday, along with our friends from the Northeast Index Series. That's a great group of local racers that run 850, 1050, 1150, and 12 along with the great Pro Dial class. And we look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday to celebrate Easter with us at Maple Grove.
Yeah, I know Nancy's going to be there Saturday. We're going to be doing some stuff in studio, and I'm going to talk to you about that other thing I texted you about. And we're going to there's going to be a lot of good things happening with Wide Open Wednesday, and you're going to be included in that, Bill.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Nick. As you know, in racing, you look forward to any opportunity that comes around. And for those of you, I apologize to all the viewers out there. I forgot to mention this last week. My hot seat feature that I do once a week where I profile one of our racers on my page. I'm going to be teaming up with Drag Racing Action Online. That's a great website that my friend Phil Hutchinson runs. He's a former Division I photographer. Me and him have a great bond of the history of the sport, so I'm helping him out. Like you said, if anyone's listening out there, regardless of what field you're in, always take any opportunities that comes available and never be afraid to try new things.
That's right, Billy, and we appreciate you being on our show, and we're going to take you with us wherever we go. So, all right, enjoy yourself, and we'll look forward to you calling us next Wednesday, brother.
All right, see you guys next Wednesday, and on behalf of the staff of Maple Grove Raceway, to all the viewers out there, happy Easter, everybody, and we see you all this Saturday at Maple Grove.
You got it, Billy.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Bill.
Well, Fred, this weather has really wreaked havoc with all kinds of stuff. I mean, that we got spoiled when it was real nice, and we figured, okay, maybe we were going to get
When
cut a
was
break.
that? Yeah, we got one or 2 days. That
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and then I think Saturday, because of Easter, it's the Easter holiday. New Egypt's not running, but
Right.
it's going to be pretty nice Saturday.
That's what it looked like. I was thinking about going to Bridgeport after we get done with the our videos on Saturday, but I'm not really sure. So, and I
Well,
don't wanna,
we'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out, play it by ear, and see what goes. I got some family things going on this weekend too, so
Well,
we'll work it out.
we know how that works. Got to take care of the family stuff first, or we'll be sleeping outside in the backyard in the tent. So we can't do that. And like Fred said, our video's up from last Saturday. We got to thank Craig from 5 Points Media. He done a wonderful job with that. And that's where we
Great
have
production,
our
great editing.
Oh yeah, awesome, great music. He really enjoyed what he done for us. Right from the outset, when he set up the camera, he said, "I'm really liking what I'm seeing," and he's going to help us out when we start doing our Facebook Live stuff and all this other stuff that we plan on doing. So
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm tying the our Wide Open Wednesday in with my America's Mechanic YouTube channel, and I just got a notification from the music company that's been backing me on this. That right now I have over 8,000 followers on the America's Mechanic YouTube channel, which also means that there's going to be 8,000 followers on the Wide Open Wednesday YouTube channel because we're going to link them together. So there's a lot of exposure coming out to for all of us, anybody else that wants to get involved. So we're not just sitting on this thing and
no, we're
making this grow.
we're taking it and
This
run.
is what we're doing.
This is what we
we're
got to
planning
do.
on doing.
All right, we got a phone call. Who is it? Nicholas.
Hey,
Nick.
Nick and Fred.
Hey,
going on?
what's happening, Nick?
Hey, how you doing?
All right. You called us.
So
You
it
tell
was a
us.
busy week. Okay, things are moving forward. I got the car back from Tom. It's painted. Got to get in touch with Bruce and start doing some striping and lettering on it. But things are moving forward.
Good.
So,
Yeah, I saw
looking forward
an
to
old
that.
picture of it today. An old picture with Stan Plosky driving. I'm like, yeah, that was a cool looking car. I can't wait to see you out on the track with that. And as you pass me,
I think I made an action figure of Stan with the 77.
Yeah, there's a lot of history with that car. So, I heard Earl on there, and Earl's talking about the Patterson family and all the good that they've done in racing. And actually, Fred, with us, we have one of the Patterson family members who races and who does the exhibition and vintage stuff with us, Jack
nice.
Patterson in the 43.
okay.
So
okay.
he's part of that family. And Jack's told me a lot of his family's racing history, and there's names that Earl was talking about. Well, that's Jack's family, and Jack's with us. So,
Oh, cool.
but we have a new listener on here, Walt Zuck out of Jersey. He runs a 27 Junior vintage car, so Walt's been listening the last couple of weeks. So I just want to do a shout out to him.
Welcome,
We'll
Walt.
see him for the-
Welcome, Walt.
All right, so then let's see what else. Last week was a busy weekend of racing, even though there were rainouts locally. But last Thursday in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, also there's a speedway there, volunteer speedway. Kyle Larson went there to run the Outlaw Late Models, and he won.
Of course.
50-lapper, nonstop. So Larson won ahead of McDowell, Jonathan Davenport, Marler, and Chris McFadden. And they had a couple Cup guys there, and ironically, Kyle Busch got into Kyle Larson on the last lap on the backstretch with his right front and gave Larson a left rear flat tire. And Larson still managed to come around and win the race.
Yeah.
So that was
He will
pretty
not be
exciting. That was on
denied.
flow.
No, and then he schooled him at Bristol.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah, Bristol was something. So with the truck side of things, of course, we all follow Stewart because he's the third guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Stewart had a good qualifying run, qualified 7th. On lap 61, there was an incident in front of him he couldn't avoid and got involved and dropped down, finished 27th. But Stewart's in the top 10 in points, so far so good.
well, you got it.
But
Speaking of a guy named Stewart, how about Tony Stewart winning his first top fuel dragster,
I saw that.
Wally?
Yeah, I saw that.
I know, I saw that
He
out
was
in
fast
Vegas.
all weekend.
So,
Fast all weekend, and they work hard. And Tony really likes the drag racing stuff ever since his wife had the baby and all that stuff. And he decided that's what he was going to do. And it was pretty cool to see him get his first Wally. He was pretty excited. He don't get emotional too much, but he was pretty emotional with that. Of course,
Yeah.
Jasmine has been making it to the semis and to the finals, and I told her she can't win. She's got to win at Maple Grove. So maybe her first win will come at Maple Grove. That would be pretty cool. So.
And then we'll interview her.
Right. And then I think Tony's wife might kick him out of that seat too.
Well, we'll see. He's got enough money. He can have 2 of them. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Is that 2 wives or 2 cars?
I don't know about 2 wives, but I know he's got enough to have 2 cars.
2 wives means no cars.
So, but
yeah, right there you go.
No, Nick, get your car done so I can make an action figure of you.
Yeah.
All right, it's in the process.
All right, brother.
So.
All right, I'll take care of you.
Yeah, I want to see.
All right.
You going down to the practice tomorrow?
I don't know about going to the practice, but I might want to check out Bridgeport on Saturday because they have the vintage cars there, and the Delaware East Coast Vintage Racing Club is kind of taking over Bridgeport with the vintage cars.
Okay.
And I want to see what they're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
So Delaware's going to be there, and also the Grandview cars are going to be there too. So I'm really anxious to see how that turns out. I might even do a drone video with that and see how that looks.
All right.
So I'm really curious to see how that
we make out on
turns
Saturday.
out.
See if we can break out and maybe head down there too. But cool. All right, Nick.
So,
We've got them lined up here like jets in the Newark airport here. I don't know who's next, but I guess Mr. Lawler, Stone Cold will tell us who we got waiting. Steve, how many?
We got 2, so we got Paulie and Johnny.
Let's do Johnny first.
Yeah.
Tell Paulie he's next. So in the interim here, we have Johnny Cornell on the line. John.
Yo.
Thank you for calling, and I know this is
Thank you for having me.
Come on now, your family. Anyhow, let's talk about last night. You texted me. You told me this was the fastest that this tournament has sold out, and you got a whole bunch of entrants. Now, tell everybody how this started and why this started. This is Johnny Cornell on the line. He ran a wingless sprint car, a sportsman car at New Egypt. He built the wingless sprint cars at New Egypt, and
yep.
You got to be pretty happy with the way the class is going now, John.
At 1.2 there.
So, yeah, tell us how this all started.
Basically, everyone knows the story about, me losing my pop at Bridgeport. It'll be 10 years this June. Lost him to a massive heart attack. And anybody who loses anyone knows that when you come up on the death anniversary, you walk around real glum. You hold your head down. You're not in a real good mood. And for 5 years or so after Dad was down, every June I would get all pissy and, upset and feel bad for myself and sorry for myself. And Nicky, you knew my pop very well, and that wasn't how he carried himself. So after about the 5th year of feeling sorry for myself, I said, well, maybe I should do what Dad always said and try and make a positive out of a negative. So I figured, why don't I go golfing? I was into golf. I was doing some golf stuff. So I invited 15 of my close friends. We went golfing. That was the inaugural Big Rooster Golf Classic. It was at Morgan Hill Golf Course in Easton. There were 16 of us there. I put a picture on the internet, and I got attacked. Johnny, why wasn't I called?
Right.
Why didn't you invite me? I want to golf. What about me? What about me? So the following year, I called everyone's bluff. I put it on Facebook, and I said, would anybody be interested in doing this? And we had 80-something guys show up the second year.
Wow.
Third year came along, we had 120 guys. Then, obviously, I worked for Mike at Amwell Auto Body. Mike's like a second father to me. He's had my back since my old man passed away. I can confide in Mike in a lot of things. He's a very good friend and an even better boss.
Right.
So I said to Mike, I was like, what do you think if we do this on the weekend? That way the racing guys can come. And it's a little bit extra to do the golf outings on the weekend. But the 4th outing and the 5th outing were both on Sundays, along with this year's outing on a Sunday. We've sold every outing out since. 144 golfers is the max. So then as we started selling these out, in the beginning, I didn't want to profit from this in any way. And I wanted to help people that were in my similar situation. So in the beginning, I think the second year we donated like $500 to the American Heart Association in my dad's name. Right. Year 3 was like $1,200. Last year, year 5, I called one of my very dear close friends to me. Everyone knows him, Jimmy Blewett.
Yep.
We have been tight and boys from since I was running quarter midgets. He actually gave me an award. It's funny, I came across a picture. He gave me an award when I ran quarter midgets. He was a teenager at the time, and there's a picture of me and him standing there. You know, I'm maybe 8 years old. I've always idolized him. We've always been friends. And Jimmy said to me, he goes, let's make this better every year. So Jimmy got on board last year as our primary title sponsor. And he told me last year, as long as I want to do this, he has my back. Last year, we were able to raise $10,000 to donate to the American Heart Association in my father's name.
That's awesome.
So what turned out as just being a couple guys drinking some beers and laughing and remembering my dad has turned into months of planning and sending emails to people and getting sponsors. We locked up Jimmy again, obviously, this year. John Blewett Inc. is our title sponsor. Mershon Concrete came on board this year as a primary sponsor. Farino and Sons Contracting came on. This is their second year sponsoring us. And Jake and Dave have helped us, you know, through the years with racing and stuff like that. Same thing with Mershon. Cindy Molesworth is who married me and my wife. So I've raced midgets with Duncan and Patrick. I've known all these people. The racing community might seem cutthroat. Everybody might be racing against each other. When you need people to have your back, that is the racing community. They will stand by you and support you till they are blue in the face, no matter what it is. I appreciate all of those people immensely, you know? But we actually, I like to say, we set a new track record. Heron Glen Golf Course in Ringo's is where we hold the golf outing every year for the past 5 years.
Right.
This is the fastest outing that they have ever sold out ever.
That's awesome.
Whether it be an outing run by the golf course, outing run by other people. So we hold the track record now, 8.5 hours.
So
and 144 people signed up.
You know your dad's laughing, right?
Oh, my dad's
he's looking down and he's laughing, but the most thing that he's proud of is that baby that you have and the person that you have become. Could you imagine? Could you imagine your dad being around? That baby's already spoiled, but I know how much he would spoil the baby. So
I spoil her. I would be, if my dad was still around and I was still racing, I would 100% be out of a ride. He would be on the phone he would be ordering bull riders from Tom Fitz. He'd be talking to Terry Schaefer and getting RTS motors. He'd be on the phone with Mike Troopy ordering a Sportsman motor now for it. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm going to ask you this question. I know you probably thought of this, but if you could get back behind the wheel, what class or what car would you want to drive, and where would it be?
Well, if I could get back behind the wheel, there'd be a long list of things that would need to happen with that too. I don't want to wash it. That's number one. I'll help pay for it, but I ain't washing it. I would probably say I would like to run like a, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to run a big block, but maybe a small block, maybe Bridgeport, New Egypt. I mean, New Egypt I was very successful at. I knew how to get around there pretty well in a Sportsman car.
Right.
I didn't get to race the new configuration at Bridgeport. Obviously, Bridgeport, that's where I lost my dad, so it's, you know, touchy place to go, but you watch the highlights of that high bank stuff there at Bridgeport, it's pretty badass there too.
Oh, yeah.
I would really like to be in a modified just because that's, but I mean, even talking with Ryan now, I'd be so damn out to lunch with coils and left side, right side, and there's no torsion bars no more, and all sorts of spring smashing and all this Swahili that they talk about now, you know. I'd be out to lunch. If I could do anything, it'd be to go modified racing. Who doesn't want to run a modified?
Another question. Favorite memory at New Egypt Speedway, either as a crew member or a driver?
Oh, favorite memory?
Yup.
Going over the scales, championship night 2014, and whoever the race director was at the time in the in-car radio saying 87, congratulations on the win and congratulations on the championship. Because I had no idea where lineman was that night. I thought he was on my ass the whole time.
Right.
So to go into a race third in points, I mean, that was my dad's goal, was to ultimately be a champion at some point. And to be able to get in that championship and to go into a race as the underdog and have nothing to lose and to not only win it, but to win the championship and to win it all in one thing, that was probably my greatest well, any memory that I got to stand with you was pretty good one. So whenever I was down front talking to you, it was a good time.
Well, I've had some of my best interviews with you. I get emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but the night that you won with the sprint car and Lou came over and gave you a big hug and
that was a big one too.
Yep, we sat there and we talked.
We talked the week before.
Yes, that was.
We talked the week before that, and I said, Nikki, I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong here, but I can't fucking get this. Excuse my French. I can't get this thing to work. And you told me you'll get it, and then that following week we got it.
Yep.
That was a good one.
All right, last question. What advice would you give a young racer? And I have a young racer waiting on the line that's a phenom.
You have a generational talent waiting on the line. Don't sell that kid short. Paulie Hartwig III is the man.
Yep.
He beats me on out racing all the time. He waxes me. I can't even beat him cheating on video games. But if I could give anybody, especially Paulie, some advice, stay humble. Stay humble about it.
He is.
Yeah,
he's
a good kid.
He very is. Stay humble about it. Always think before you act. My dad always used to tell me, you're never going to get a ride acting like a little hothead.
Right.
I threw my helmet one night at Borgers when I was a kid, and he grabbed me by the shirt collar, and that was the last time I ever threw my helmet.
There you go.
Just act. People are going to give you their money that they work hard for. They're going to want in return a good image and a good thing, and I think Paulie does that all while saving his equipment, racing people hard, racing people clean. I mean, if it didn't say Paulie Hartwig III on the roof of that car the other night, I would have thought Ted Christopher was in it, because that was a textbook asphalt modified, as good as it gets, bump and run to the leader, and get the lead.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sean.
I got nothing bad to say about that kid. I'm number one. Ask him. He told me in Allentown, I'm the president of a snack club.
There you go. All right, Sean. Well, we appreciate you calling. Have fun at the tournament. Make lots of money. You already made your dad proud. You don't have to do that.
Thank you, Nicky. I appreciate
All
that.
right. I love you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, John.
Love you too, man. Thanks for having
John.
me on, guys.
Yep, no problem. We loved having you. Did we go right to the call? Sure. All right, let's go right to the call. Yes. This guy. Now, I watched it on television, and you've been on this show a couple times now. Of course, your Aunt Kate is... I just talked to your number one fan, Paulie, but congratulations on your win. I know you've been trying to get one of them. The Rican Rocket had to come to the garage just so he could hold the trophy. He's one of my good friends, but congratulations, kid.
Thank you, man.
Now, this 8th grader stuff's got to stop. When you start racing at New Egypt, I'm going to give you a better nickname than the 8th grader. You know that, right?
Unless you're still in 8th grade.
Unless you're still in 8th grade, which I doubt. So, but, I mean, I watched the race. You done what you had to do, and then you get in victory lane and you're pretty modest. You didn't want to wreck the guy. You did what you had to do to win the race. You didn't do anything any different than anybody else would do. So don't be so hard on yourself, kid. You done what you had to do. You didn't do anything any different than anybody else would do. And you got to be happy. Things are just starting to come along here. I know how hard your family has worked to get you where you had to go. I mean, your dad and mom sacrificed everything to get you to this point, and now you're starting to get what you deserve. You know what I mean? So don't ever sell yourself short. You're a hell of a race car driver, kiddo.
Thanks, man. Yep.
So, tell me about the last couple laps of that race. Tell me what you were feeling inside that race car. Did you know that you could win it? Did you know that you had to make a calculated move to get it done, Paul?
It was a pretty good race. The last couple laps, got by Bryce Bailey there for a second. Then we rode the whole entire race for the first 70 laps. Got Bryce Bailey.
Right.
Took our eyes on Luke Baldwin. We chased him down and gave him a little bump and run. I mean, it wasn't even that bad, I don't think. But it was a pretty good race. It matters of who stayed the tire more, and I think I did that more than Luke did.
Right.
But, I didn't want to do it dirty, but I don't think it was dirty. But I just didn't want to ruin both of our races. I just wanted to get my first Smart Tour win, and I think it was pretty clean.
Well, haters make you famous, Paulie. Remember that. Okay, so don't even listen to all that stuff, because if they were in your shoes, they'd have done the same thing. I don't think it was dirty. I think racing's racing. The guy that finished second come up to you and told you it was a good race, correct?
Yeah.
Well, then you ain't got nothing to worry about, because if it was dirty, he'd have come up there and said something a little different. You know what I'm saying? So you've been racing long enough, you know. Now, how long before you get to race at New Egypt?
I'm running. I might go practice tomorrow at New Egypt.
Okay.
So, we're trying the right side pin our bar, because we might go down the big diamond 620 grand and have to get more than 45 cars.
Okay.
And, we're just, gonna try that. I can run New Egypt June 24th on Tuesday.
Okay.
For a short track series race.
Okay.
So, that's gonna be the plan, and I think I have till next year I can run, New Egypt.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to that. Of course, you know I'm back at New Egypt. I have a picture of you on my golf cart when you were little. God knows you could probably drive then, but just, Paulie, just keep doing what you're doing. And like Johnny Cornell said, just stay modest. Walk silently and carry a big stick, and just keep doing what you're doing. I'm very proud of you, buddy, and I'm glad you called me and got on the show with us. Did we lose him?
No, maybe.
Oh, we lost him.
We lost him. Huh? Break. We'll take a break right now. We lost Paulie, but we'll take a break and come back.
Do you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3, serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1957. You can now listen to all your WBCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM, a new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We're now live back again here on Wide Open Wednesday.
Yeah.
Here are your hosts, Nick Leach, Fred Fletcher.
Steve's favorite racing show.
Right.
All right. And we got, I'm going to say this, and I don't care. We got Darren Dan, the stock car man. Danny Buck on the line. Danny, what's happening, brother?
What's going on, Nick? How are you?
Nothing. I can't believe that I got a bunch of crap calling you that, because, you know what I'm talking about. I can't even call you Darren Dan, the stock car man, because and I'm a Danny Johnson fan, but that was his name. He lives in New York. You live in New Jersey, and it is what it is, okay? And I think people just like to complain on a certain site, and they like to start trouble. So you're all right with that, ain't you, Dan?
Everybody's got an opinion on there, that's for sure. It's
like buttholes. Everybody's got one, and they stink, Dan. Remember that.
Yep, yeah. I've always known him as a doctor, so I guess I'm too young to know.
I've always known him as the doctor too. I mean, I did hear a couple people call him that, but it doesn't matter. But now Last week I mentioned that you were probably the only guy outside with a headdress on doing the rain dance. Is that true?
Yeah, that was probably the first time that we've been in the situation that we were in, and it's worked out in our favor. Usually, it's
about time.
Now we're kind of back in the opposite of where it's not going our way. We had to change a bunch of stuff around this weekend just to do more work, just to go racing. Because New Egypt's off this weekend, and we weren't planning on doing any Pennsylvania racing this year, and now we've kind of changed our plan about that just because of who's paying the most, and we gotta start making some money to pay for all the stuff we tore up the last couple of weeks. So we're gonna be really going after it hard here and chasing all the big shows.
We can sell action figures if you want. I'll get you to sign. I'll sign a couple of them. Get you to sign a couple.
We're gonna need to for sure.
Now, I didn't think that hit was that hard at Bridgeport, and that kind of bent the car up pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean that was it was probably harder for Billy hitting me there, Osmond, than it was for me. It didn't hurt me or nothing, but it hit me right in a very weak spot on the car to where it did a lot of damage. Other than the frame, there was one part on the rear end that was bent, and everything else, I mean, knock on wood, everything else seems to be okay. So really, we just had to strip the whole thing down and put a new frame under it. I sent it back to Bicknell was going to try to fix it, and Randy and them guys up there, they do a hell of a job with customer support and getting things turned back around, and it worked out well to where it wasn't fixable. We had already, kind of priced out getting a new frame anyway, so it worked out good in a way. It's never good to tear up stuff this early in the year, but that was my oldest car, but also my best car, so we're hoping the new one's just as good, I'm sure.
Yeah, you don't like to give them away or part with them when they work good. You get in the seat and you're comfortable. It's like driving a Cadillac, and then something happens to them, and they're never the same. And then, of course, the motor at Port Royal. What happened there?
Yeah, just a part failure. Okay. That thing, Mark Benson, and Dan, they've been building that thing for all last year, this year. We've had nothing but good luck with it. It's been running awesome. I've been running way better with that thing than we've ever had, and just put some new parts in it this winter. And man, it's just such a crapshoot. It's happened to us plenty of times here with my dad. Just you get bad parts, or not necessarily bad parts, just stuff that's goofed up, from the get-go. And there's so many things going on in these engines that that's all it takes is one little bit. I was lucky enough, I'm really, really good. I hate to say it because I've had a lot of practice shutting them off when they blow up. That we did about the most minimal damage to it as we possibly could. It just was terrible timing with Georgetown, with their opener. That was really, the only thing that sucked about the whole deal. We had to miss their opener down there. I was really trying to run New Egypt in there for points this year, but it just didn't work out. We couldn't get anything put together for that weekend there, and but that's the Ford's back, and we went and had a little private test at New Egypt last week and shook that back down. That thing was unbelievably fast,
there you go.
The spec car was even better. So
there you go.
Yeah, I think we got things straightened out here, and we'll keep plugging away at it.
Well, I know prior to that, you had mentioned, oh man, I'm going to need to take some time away, and then the gods help you out there with the rainouts and all that stuff. Gave you time to do this. Of course, none of this happens for free. You got to spend money. So now, and you still looking for people to sponsor you, Dan? You still looking for a potential sponsor?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for that. This sport's getting, even more and more expensive, and we've been kind of on the verge of cutting back a little bit the last couple of years, and been fortunate enough, I have great partners, Craig and Leslie Pondish, Short Load Concrete, got my Short Load teammate there, Paulie Hartwig, on earlier, so,
yeah.
Short Load Concrete. I got a lot of good partners that really help me do this, but we're I tell people all the time, I'm pissing out of my league, it's, it's the level that I'm racing at is so expensive, and to have 3 cars, to all, field and maintenance and take care of is just a lot. So we'd always be open to having more sponsors or marketing partners on board with us, but it's getting tougher and tougher. I was very fortunate we had a bunch of people step up there, and help me. And my biggest thing for taking a couple weeks off there was just the help in the shop. And man, I right before Port Royal, I put a post out that I was looking for help because I've been just dragging here by myself. And I had some really good people, start showing up. One of them there, Michael.
Yep.
And man, that's made the biggest difference in the world. I really, think we ran so good at Port Royal and Bridgeport and these first couple races here in the beginning of the year, just because I've finally had some good help here in the shop just to keep up with the maintenance and that sort of thing. So really hoping we get things turned around, win some big races here, get some money back in our account, and then we can really go after it this year.
Now, when I talked to Mike Gular a couple of weeks ago, and I said this to him, and I'll say it to you. You think people are gun shy to sponsor a guy like you or a guy like Gular because they don't think that they can supply you with what you need, Dan?
Man, I mean, it could be. I've always approached people, sponsors and that sort of thing. Like, man, we got a couple people that, like, really in the grand scheme of things, ain't much money that they give me, but I just appreciate all the help and really, I'll same thing as like what the Hartwigs do. Like, man, we'll take $20 sometimes, because that pays for someone's pit pass and that sort of thing. And man, it all adds up, man. It's so tough to do this anymore. But yeah, I mean, I hope people don't feel like that because any little bit helps. But it can be a little, like I said, we're kind of out of our league with some of this stuff that we're doing. And the problem is if you don't race and go do all the big races and run, 40, 50, 60 races a year,
right?
You kind of fall behind anymore. And it's, that was kind of my problem getting started here, why I've kind of had such a slow progression as a career because we just couldn't race as much as other people. And now we're doing it, but it's tough financially now. So, but yeah, no, like I said, I hope people don't feel like that. And, me and Mike are kind of cut from the same cloth there. We've always just gone out and done it ourselves. And, we got good people behind us, but we also just, try to do whatever we can with little as possible and stretch it along the way.
Well, what sucks about a guy like you and a guy like Gular, you got talent, you got natural talent to drive a race car, and you can get it done. And you got to hope that sometime there's somebody sitting in the grandstand that's like, man, I want to invest some money, and they want to invest it in the winter, and you never know what could happen, Dan. I mean, you're a gasser and you get the job done, and you don't take no crap on the racetrack. I mean, you kind of remind me of my brother sometimes. You and I have talked about different things, and you got a lot of good supporters. Craig and Leslie are personal friends of mine. They're great people. You can't ask for anybody better than them. All the other sponsors you got, Short Load, Ready Mix Concrete, they're great people. And don't sell yourself short, Dan. You're a pretty good guy yourself. You got a great family. You got a great wife, and I'm kind of fond of your dog also. So, but no, we've been friends for a long time, and it's pretty cool to see you progress. But like you said, you didn't get a chance to do what you wanted to do in your racing career. But you know what? Like fine wine, Dan, you're going to get better with age. I see you moving up. The rainouts helped you. Let's see if we can get you a good sponsor and get a big name on the side of that car. And if Mike's listening, you know what I'm talking about, Mike. So we'll see what we could do with that.
Yeah, we both talked about that. We're working on it here and trying to piece some other stuff together. I was very fortunate the last 2 years, and why we've kind of got to the point we're at, with Brett Deo jumping on board with me there and giving me some extra equipment and and just little stuff, man, and just feeling like you belong in a series and that sort of thing. Like he's very good with that, and that just gave me the confidence to go out and run some of these bigger races. Like I probably would have never ever ran the Fonda 200, 2 years ago when I went up and did that, and he made it financially possible, and that's the kind of stuff, man, that you learn little things when you're running them races, and set up on the car and that stuff when you're traveling, talking to different people. Everybody's got different ideas and stuff, so it's the people along the way there that help you out and get you to that next little step. And I'm just we're kind of in a bad spot, temporarily, I hope. And like I said, normally when I get like this, I drive different, and I just got to get up on the wheel and go win races because I'm that type of person. I hate begging people for money and that sort of thing. I just go out and work for it. Well, now's the time to go out and work for it, and we're the only way to do that right now is to go out and win races. So we're just going to try to get after it here and get some money rolling in, and hopefully it gets us going.
I don't think you'll have any problem with that. And the guy we were talking about is listening, so he just texted me and told me, "I'm listening, brother." I said, "Okay." So, but no, I think you're going to be okay, Dan. What do you? One last question for you. What do you think about Chris Moore doing what he's doing at New Egypt? I think that's a plus for New Egypt.
Very much so. Plus, me and Chris have been pretty close to the last couple of years.
Good.
You know, with him and Brett and everybody, and I think that's a very refreshing thing. Just like racing needs younger drivers and that sort of thing, which back to like the Hartwig deal, like it's Tanner Van Doren. We have a good crop of younger drivers, but
yes,
now like the race promoter stuff is. Some of the older race promoters and that sort of thing are getting wore down, and it's refreshing to see somebody young who wants to get out there and promote the place and push real hard. And he had a pretty good teacher there with Brett, so that's a definite plus. I think he'll make the right decisions throughout the year, and and that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be awesome. It was one of the main reasons why I've pretty much said we're going to just focus on New Egypt this year and go back to racing there and hopefully making some money at the place and winning some races.
All right, well, do what you got to do, and I'm sure I'll see you along the way, and I'll get to see my nephew Michael too, so I will talk to you later.
Sounds good, man.
All right,
we'll
Dan,
talk to you.
anything you need from Wide Open Wednesday, let us know.
You got it, man. Well, take care. Have a great
Thanks,
one.
brother. Yep.
Thanks, Dan.
You get Scotty on the line?
You got Paulie still? Paulie hung up. All right, that's Scotty Too Hottie. All right, Scotty, what's going on?
Hi, Nicky. What's up, man? How you been?
Did you find that phone number you were looking for?
I did find that phone number. It wasn't hard. It was easy.
What's going on now, Scott? People don't know Scott. I call him Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty was a crew member for Ricky Grasso, and he was into the racing pretty big. And what are you doing now, Scott, besides working your tail off?
Just relaxing. Got some personal issues going on. Just probably taking the year off.
Okay. Well,
so
there's people out there that would love your expertise to help them with race cars. You know that, right?
Well, they know where to find me. Facebook. They got my number. They can always call me, text me. I can always help out.
Hey, if you want to be a mechanic, I know a guy that needs a mechanic. He'll hire you if you got the right credentials. Fletcher's Garage. You know where that's at? You hang out in Pennsylvania.
I do hang out in Pennsylvania. I can always find it.
Well, you go over there and talk to Mr. Fletcher. He's always looking for a good mechanic.
Yeah, I'm always looking.
Always looking for a good mechanic. Sure. Well, I appreciate you calling the show, Scotty. I told you could call anytime you want.
Hey, I did.
All right, well, if you decide to take a different route and you want to do some mechanical stuff, get a hold of Mr. Fletcher.
You got it, Uncle Nicky.
All right, Scotty, I love you, buddy. Thanks for calling.
All right, bud.
All right.
Take care. You too.
All right. Fred, we got to do our sponsors real quick.
Let's do our sponsors real quick. What tracks are running this week? So,
well, Bridgeport's definitely running.
I'm going through the list here.
Get your suntan lotion out because it's supposed to be really nice at Bridgeport. Diamond's running on Friday night.
Okay.
So we got to do Big Diamond.
Yeah,
okay.
Delaware International's running.
The big catch at Diamond. Okay. Then Bridgeport's got the Modified Sportsman.
Grandview.
Wingless Sprinters.
Grandview's running Saturday.
Delaware International's running.
So.
Yep.
Yeah,
the money maker is at Grandview.
Grandview, okay.
So.
Well, I'll bring this list with me tomorrow, so we'll go over to during Need for Speed. But yeah, real quick, we want to run through our sponsors here, and I want to thank Sage Chiropractic. He just re-upped with me. That's at 123 North Sycamore Street in beautiful downtown Newtown. And I go every other week for my adjustments and everything else, and. It really does help.
He goes to get cracked. He's not lying.
Yeah, we'll call it adjustment. They don't like calling it cracking, but it does crack. But he's making me where I can get in and out of my race car. So yeah, give Dr. Mike Guanasso a call, Dr. Kerry Lewin. They're the absolute best in chiropractic, and that's in Newtown. And their number is 215-497-0700. And if you go up next Wednesday, next Tuesday, you'll see me up there.
Good, there you go. He'll be laid out on the stretcher, and they'll be stretching him and making him, because they know he's got to drive a vintage car. And, of course, our major sponsor, of course, is Fletcher's Garage. Fred has done everything he needed to do to keep this show going. And it's Fletcher's Garage has been serving Bucks County and trusted auto mechanics since Not 2001. That's a typo.
No, I've been in
right?
Pennsylvania since 2001. I've been in business since 1986.
Well, there you go. Conveniently located in Fairless Hills, PA. They offer professional mechanic repairs, auto maintenance, and outstanding customer service. Now, it says outstanding customer service, providing the customer comes in with the right attitude.
Yeah.
And
Well, we'll still give them outstanding customer service all the way out the door.
and guys, he's there to do a service for you. You can't come in there with an attitude and expect everybody to be smiling and happy.
Well, I have to keep, they come in, they try to take advantage of Kelly. So
you need you need a hammer. I told Kelly she needed a hammer back there. Tell them, put your hands on the counter and just smack their hands with the hammer.
I know prices are up, but hey, we're doing all we can to save you money now.
He goes out of his way. He doesn't give you anything that you don't need. And usually when you walk out of there, your stuff is right. Everything.
What do you mean usually?
Meaning usually when you walk out of there, everything's right. I probably shouldn't say usually. When you walk out of his place, your stuff is right. You could go to me and Fred have discussed different things about what he does at his shop. I mean, you could go to the dealer and pay thousands of dollars, or you could go to Fletcher's Garage.
We'll go with the usually, because if there's something wrong, it's a parts failure, and that guy cover it.
Yes. So
I stand behind when I work. We have a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty.
Behind his work, and he'll stand behind you when he's giving you the boot if you don't have the right attitude.
We're a AAA shop, so we have a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty.
There you go, and nobody does that.
No.
Okay, and trust me, you go there. Nice cup of coffee, got the TV set up, got a lot of some memorabilia set up there, and it's 480 Hood Boulevard, Fairless Hills, PA. 215-295-4931, or on the web at www.fletchersgaragepa.com. See Fred, he'll hook you up. Now, these people just re-upped with us. We've got to thank Bob and Sherry Drayton for helping us out here. And like I said at the beginning of the show, if you were on the fence about sponsoring Wide Open Wednesday, you can't be on the fence no more, because time is not running out, but it's running out. We want you to be a part.
We have a lot of venues or avenues that we explore with our advertising. So it's not just radio; it's everything that we do.
Yep.
But right now, our radio is our biggest thing. So jump on board.
Jump on board, and Fred has Need for Speed. He has America's Mechanic, and he's going to include you in a whole lot of stuff. And we got to thank Bob Drayton Incorporated. They just signed back on with us, and they are a local-owned business since 1955. They're number 1 and the number 2 business. Video Gym, that's my tagline. Do not use it no more. Excellent customer service and quality rentals to every client. They have a large selection of rental solutions for every project and event. You can count on the experienced team for fast and courteous service each time you call them. They also offer 24-hour emergency service. So, if you have a problem, they'll come take care of it. Locally owned, operated since 1955, licensed and insured, free estimates available, 24-hour emergency service, military and senior discounts. I'm right close to that senior discount, Fred. Quality products, excellent customer service.
Closer to me.
Bob and Sherry Drayton, located 151 Big Hill Road, Southampton Township, New Jersey, 609-859-3629, www.mrbobs.com. Bobby runs a 4-cylinder in New Egypt and Bridgeport. His son runs a 4-cylinder. And when it hits the fan, he's your man. And whenever you eat, he's got a seat. So, Mr. Bob's Portable Toilets. Make sure you take care of that. And Sage is all the rage in chiropractic. So, if you ever need anything done chiropractic-wise, you need to go take care of see Sage. You'll see how fast Fred gets in and out of his vintage car. And you'll wonder how he done that.
That is the goal, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll wonder how he done it. Sage
and it's because of Sage Chiropractic.
Yep.
Otherwise, I would be wondering.
So, don't forget, tomorrow, 9 to 9:30 is America's Mechanic. You can also go on YouTube and watch Fred's America's Mechanic videos if you have a certain thing that you're looking to find out about. Usually Fred has already done a video.
There's a lot of different things out there.
Yeah.
We have over 8,000 followers now, so we can. So it's really starting to take off, and there are all kinds of different systems and things and techniques and everything that we talk about.
And then Need for Speed from 9:30 to 10, and that's Fred too. And I'll call in, or Earl usually calls in, and we'll get everything going. In the meantime, be safe. Have a happy Easter. Don't shoot the Easter bunny if he's running in your backyard. You can't have that. He's bringing the candy for the kids, and we're going to have a good time. Have a great weekend. Have a great Good Friday. Have a great Easter. We're out on Wide Open Wednesday.
All righty.
Do
you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB.